Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome, I am Badruddin Muhammad and you are watching the English news program on Somaliland National Television. These are the main stories making headlines. The President of Somaliland, Ahmed Mohamed Mahmoud Silayo, departed to France. The Vice President of Somaliland opens a new office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. The chairman of Kulmiya Party, Musa Bihi Abdi, speaks to the press. The President of Somaliland, Ahmed Mohamed Mahmoud Silayo, has departed from Egal International Airport on his way to France.
The President of Somaliland, Ahmed Mohamed Mahmoud Silayo, has departed from Egal International Airport on his way to France. In a press conference, the President discussed the purpose of his trip to France. He mentioned that Somaliland and French government have lengthy political and friendship relations, and this trip is one of these intended to further relations between the two governments. Members from Somaliland Cabinet, including Minister of Planning, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Presidency, will accompany the President in this business trip. France is one of the powerful countries in the world, and Somaliland is extremely happy to have relations with such country, said by the President. Moreover, the President of Somaliland, Ahmed Mohamed Mahmoud Silayo, also discussed about Somaliland's foreign strategy, which is to expose Somaliland's image and decision of independence to the outside world. The President also highlighted the expected result of Somaliland and Somalia talks, which he have been on track for the last 2 days, and he mentioned that Somaliland will only accept Somaliland's sovereignty as a result of these talks.
The Vice President of Somaliland, Abdurrahman Abdullahi Ismail Sailai, marked the opening of the new building of Somaliland Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation.
The Vice President of Somaliland, Abdurrahman Abdullahi Ismail Sailai, marked the opening of a new building for Somaliland Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. The meeting was participated by members of Somaliland Cabinet, Ministerial Staff, Head of Ethiopian Embassy to Somaliland, and IOM organization. The Vice Minister of Somaliland, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations, Mr. Maulid Mohammed Ibrahim, and the Director General of the Ministry, Mohammed Hassan, have spoken at the event describing the process of this achievement and the departments of the Ministry. Minister of Youth and Sport, Mr. Ali Said Regal, and the Vice Minister of Public Work, who also spoke at the event, described this new building as one of the prominent achievements by this government. And this is not the only new building, but several new ministerial offices will be recently launched, said by the two ministers. The Vice President of Somaliland, Abdurrahman Abdullah Ismail Sailai, concluded the event by praising the minister's leadership for their effort in building such office for the ministry.
The chairman of Kulmiya Party, Musa Bihi Abdi, has spoken to the press about the party's recent political issues.
The chairman of Kulmiya Party, Musa Bihi Abdi, has spoken to the press about the party's recent political issues, including Kulmiya National Meeting. Mr. Musa confirmed that he agreed with the President of Somaliland, Ahmed Silayo, to postpone the meeting due to national issues, including President's fluent departure to outside of the country. And he assured that the meeting will soon be held in Hargeisa. The chairman also commented press recently most discussed issue of him having a conflict with the President of Somaliland, and he stated, "I'm here to strongly highlighting that the friendship relation I had with the President of Somaliland never and will ever be undermined by any issue. The President has showed his full support to my agenda in several occasions," said by the chairman.
You are still watching the English news program on Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news program. Now for our international headlines in detail. At least 21 people, including foreigners, killed in suicide assault in heavily fortified district of Afghan capital.
At least 21 people, 13 foreigners and 8 Afghans were killed in an apparent Taliban suicide bomb and gun attack on a restaurant in a heavily fortified area of Kabul. The assailants targeted Tafana Duliban, a Lebanese restaurant popular with expatriates and diplomats, in a neighborhood of Kabul where many embassy buildings and offices of non-governmental organizations are located. Ban Ki-moon, the UN Secretary-General, strongly condemned Friday's attack through his spokesman, who said, "Such targeted attacks against civilians are completely unacceptable and are in flagrant breach of international humanitarian law." Christine Lagarde, the chief of the International Monetary Fund, said, "Wabil Abdullah, 60, a Lebanese who had been the IMF representative in Afghanistan since June 2008, was among those killed in the attack. One British citizen, 2 Canadians and 2 Americans are known to be among the dead." Saibullah Mujahid, a Taliban spokesman, said his group carried out the attack. There was a suicide attack on a Vorian hotel where special foreign invaders are coming for dinner. In this attack, an explosive was used which was very strong, and heavy casualties and massive destruction happened.
The US President Barack Obama bans spying on allied leaders, but stops short of outlawing the collection of private citizens' phone data.
President Barack Obama has said he has banned US eavesdropping on the leaders of allied countries, but stopped short of saying spies would stop collecting data on the pooled collection of American citizens' phone data. Obama announced a series of reforms on Friday, which were triggered by Edward Snowden's revelations about the National Security Agency (NSA). In a speech, Obama took steps to reassure Americans and foreigners that the United States will take privacy concerns into account in the future. Former US spy contractor Snowden made damaging revelations about the sweeping monitoring activities of the NASA, sparking national and international concerns of personal privacy. The reforms I'm proposing today should give the American people greater confidence that their rights are being protected, even as our intelligence and law enforcement agencies maintain the tools they need to keep us safe. Obama promised that the US will not eavesdrop on the heads of state or government of close friends and allies to the US, which a senior administration official said would apply to dozens of leaders. The step was designed to smooth the frayed relations between, for example, the US and Germany, after reports surfaced last year that the NASA had monitored the mobile phone of German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff postponed a state visit to Washington to protest against US surveillance tactics. The leaders of our close friends and allies deserve to know that if I want to learn what they think about an issue, I will pick up the phone and call them rather than turning to surveillance, Obama said. He argued that the US is held to a higher standard than other nations. No one expects China to have an open debate about their surveillance programs or Russia to take the privacy concerns of citizens into account, he said. However, he added that the US has a special obligation to re-examine its intelligence capabilities because of the potential for trampling on civil liberties. The steps Obama put in motion are aimed at adapting regulations to keep up with the rapid changes in surveillance technology that permits the NASA to monitor private communications globally. Among the list of reforms was a call on Congress to establish an outside panel of privacy advocates for the Secret Foreign Intelligence Surveillance (FISA) court that considers terrorism cases. The former chief judge of the FISA court had opposed such a step. While this speech was designed to address concerns that US surveillance has gone too far, Obama's measures were seen to be relatively limited. In an interview, Sabrina Sadiku, political reporter of the Huffington Post, said, "The changes that Obama announced is a big vindication of Snowden. The proposal would not have come out without the Snowden expose," Sadiku said.
That's the end of our news. Until next time, fi amanillah.